Hey, family greetings and welcome to another day in your life. This is the only day in your life you can guarantee you're gonna see, so make the most of it, right? Okay, so now I'm about to tell you another one of my stories. So do remember that stories are fiction, fictions are lies. So I'm about to tell you a whole lot of lies, right? So don't you dare take anything I say as truthful or gospel or anything like that. All right. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the subject of family and having children and expanding on the family and all that kind of thing, right? And I'm going to explain to you why it is that I personally am planning to have a minimum of another two and as many as 10 more children before I reach to the beautiful age of 70. And a couple of months' time, I will be 63. As of today, the date I think is about the 7th of March, 2022. All right. So, here goes. So, is it really the best time to be thinking about having children, expanding your family in the middle of a war? Yeah, because you've got all this stuff going on, all this fearful stuff they're telling you about Russia going down there and beating up everybody and taking away their land and all that kind of stuff. And they're telling you about, what is it now, flu turning into, I'm not even sure if we can say this C-19 word nowadays because they've got all kind of people on this YouTube thing that will go and check out what you're saying and basically put you in YouTube prison for daring to say something like that. So so here we are. We're in a war, in the war zone, and should we be thinking of having children? All right then. So this little video is kind of dedicated to my own children. I've got four of them, and I've got absolutely 100% of them at the moment going, "Huh, no children for me, don't want no children, no, don't want no children. How can you think about bringing children into a world like this? How could you? Can you see that the world is all topsy-turvy and upside down and I would never dare bring a child into a world like this." Okay. You want to see what it was like when we were getting together and seeding you lot? Yeah, think it was any worse, any better, any? No. Listen, in my humble thinking, if you are in a position where you can be saying to yourself, I have decided not to have any children, then you, in my humble opinion, are off track. You are off track somewhere, and you probably need to think carefully about getting your ass back on track. Yeah, because first of all, you've got to you've got to think rather to yourself, how did I come to this reality? When did I decide to myself that that was the thing to do? Not to have children, to decide not to have children. How did I come by that information? Who put it in my head? How did I come by the information that I should go to school, go to college, go to university, study until I'm in my mid-20s, move from there and go into the work environment and push and break that glass ceiling, oh ladies, break the glass ceiling. Yeah. How did I get that in my head? Did I come down here on this planet with that in my head? Did I come down and say, okay, I am going to go against the tradition, the history of humanity the practices of generations upon generations upon generations before I came in. I'm going to go against all that and come in with my super duper idea of I must not have children. How did I come up with that idea? Where did I get it from? Did it pop into my head one day? How did it reach in my head? Who put it there? You understand? These are these are questions that we ought to be asking each other, ourselves, I think, and each other. You know, UK, right? I spent the better part of 46 years in the UK, right? And so when I was having children in the UK, and I would consider I started late because when my first child was born, I was around that 20, going into 24. Okay, so I started late. The guys on my peer were knocking out children from they were like 16, 17, 18, and a posse of children, back in them times, back in the 70s. Yeah. Especially the guys who were laxing up and got them short, short, 1 foot short, and then the other road, walking road, get to one thing. They had a posse of children. Okay. Now you might say to yourself, oh, they are, what's the words that they're using? Not a good black man for a start, because that went around in the 90s. No good black man, no good black man. And everybody started picking it up. Even the black men, no good black man, no good black man. Because you're not a responsible father. How could you have so many children and you don't know how you're going to care for them? How you going to care for them? You got money, you're working, no, you're not working. Because Babylon Margaret Thatcher in those times use a big truncheon and knock you over the head and throw you into a mental asylum or prison or whatever. Yeah? So you've got no way of supporting these children. Guess what? How did the people who criticize you for that come up with those ideas, those concepts? Who taught them that? Who showed them that? Who told them that they should put you down, 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 down until you've got no energy left in you to even rise up and even if you've got the intention of taking care of your children? Who beat you down? Who did that to you? Who put those ideas in your head? Yeah? Children who grew up without your father, grew up without your mother, how did that happen? Why did that happen? Who caused that to happen? Was there a bigger plan in action, in motion? Did your mother stroke? Did your father buy into that propaganda? By whom? Who was propagandizing it? Is that a word? And why? Why were they doing that? Yeah. Why did you grow up not seeing your father much, not seeing your mother much, whichever side of the parentage you grew up with? Why did you grow up in... Here he goes now, he's being racist, he's going to be racist. Why did you grow up in mixed race relationship? Why were you not raised as a true white girl, in your family of white girls and boys, knowing about white girls and boys' history, knowing about your lineage, yeah, knowing about your connection to your original fathers, yeah. Why didn't you grow up in a Indian family knowing about your Indian roots? Why didn't you grow up in a black family knowing about your black roots? Yeah, for those of you who didn't. Again, he's racist. Yeah, something like 3/4, what's it? 1/8 caste. My mother is quarter caste, and my grandfather was half caste, right? And so, I don't do the racism thing, as the saying goes. Some of my best friends who will hug me up and kiss me on my jaw are white folks, white men too. Yeah, no, I don't do that kind of, boom bye bye thing. However, I got pals who are hug up like that. Yeah. However, was there a plan to split up the different races? Was there a plan to prevent people from having children? Was there a plan to get rid of what's it called, flu, and bring in COVID? Was there a plan? What was the plan behind it? What was the reasoning behind all that? Yeah. I would encourage you to go and investigate the Georgia Guidestones. Look that up. Or stone. The Georgia Guidestone. Look that up. Yeah. On there, these guys explain clearly, it just appeared out of nowhere, the stone, that their intention is to kill 90% of the people on the planet. You understand? So therefore, what you need to think and ask yourself, if you, a mere mortal, not like these demons, if you, a mere mortal, right, had a plan where you were saying, okay, you want to wipe out your next door neighbor's generation, but you want to do it in such a way that they don't even notice that you're doing it, what would you do? Would you just go in there and just drop a whole lot of poison in their food? I would suggest that wouldn't be the best thing to do straight away, because they would know that somebody was poisoned, yeah, and they would, be able to trace it and the evidence and stuff, right? But suppose you was feeding them every day with a little mini drop of that poison, little mini drop of that poison, yeah, and you was feeding them, and suppose you had other people who were able to come in and give them, give his young teenager son a condom, and you write on it, con, you dumbass, I'm conning dumb, yeah? So you give him that, because if he keeps using that, he is gonna kill off his own sperm, eventually keeps dying off, because you've got spermicide in it, and he will also make the young lady infertile out there, right? So you give him some of that. You'd give her some roll-on stuff that she puts on her arm, block out all the, the natural air and stuff, circulation, and all the, what you call it, poison toxins from coming out of her arm. You'd give him some of that as well, and say, roll it on, man, it stops you from sweating. And then all these toxins move from under her arm and goes down into her breast. Yeah, and now she's suffering from breast cancer, right? Because you're not going to tell her that she needs to stop blocking the air. What if you see what I'm saying? So, now she's the potency of her breast is, and then you tell her, oh, when she does have a child, you say, use this stuff that I've made up in these little jars and feed him with that. You understand? Feed the little baby girl with that. Yeah? So, and you're putting all kind of shit in that. You understand? You probably even take some of these children that you killed before and grind them up and put them in those foods. You probably even put some of those children in the beef burgers that McDonald's sells. You understand? Yeah, I'm going zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm trying to show you. You probably give him a box, a great big box. and say, sit down and watch that every day. And every day I'm going to tell you how to think, what to think, until you get to a point where you can decide to yourself, I don't want to have children. I desire to stop the natural process, the natural progress of humanity. I decide that I'm going to be greater than the creators, the God. And I'm deciding no more on this planet because I have decided not to have any. I wonder if you see what I'm saying. And I'm just touching a little part of the conspiracy that those who would conserve your tiv and all those who would watch you labor, you know, you need to wake the fuck up. That's what I'm saying to you. You need to wake up and see what's going on. You understand? You need to wake up and see what's going on and ask yourself, when was the last time I had an original thought? Yeah. When was the last time I had an original thought? And how do I know that that time was actually my original thought? I wonder if you see what I'm saying. Yeah? So you actually need to go and check all those things. Here's somebody saying, Rasta, Rasta. They don't know that I'm making this video for you and they're calling me. So, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to leave you with love and light and angels and everything beautiful and everything bright. See? And you go away and do some investigation. Go into your own mind. Go into your heart. Look around and see your peers, especially you people in the so-called first world. Yeah, look at you guys in your 30s, in your late 20s, and look around you and see your peers and ask yourself, how many of them are like me who've decided that I'm not going to have any children, or that I'm going to have one child and spoil its ass? Because that's basically what's going to happen if you're running around with only one. You understand? Spoil him, spoil her, so that she becomes even more spoiled than I was. I'm sorry, guys. I know you're not going to like me for what I'm saying. And you'll notice on my videos that the comments are turned off. My angels told me to turn off the comments. I wonder why. Those of you who see what I'm saying and vibe with it, you know, keep on the track. Keep studying. Those of you who don't see what I'm saying and don't vibe with it, keep on the right track. Get on the right track and study. And get out of those friggin' universities and all those places. They're absolutely no good for your thinking and for your natural progress. Those places are designed to help you become even more of a slave, even more programmed to the thought system and the ways that Babylon desire for you to be. Yeah? We are in a war. It's a war for your thought. It's a war for your mind, your spirit. And, you know, in this time, you really need to get out from outside and come inside of yourself, inside of your heart. Study your own self. Yeah? And go sex some girls, man, and have some children. That's what it's there for. Yo, that's what it's there for. See? Alright, peace and love. I love you guys so much you wouldn't believe me. Trust me. Yeah, man, for real. Yeah, Jah love.